On the sun-drenched streets of Little Italy in 1945, a young man named Vito Corleone adjusts his silk tie in the reflection of a shop window. Preparing to meet with a local business associate, Vito is handsome, charismatic, and ambitious, all traits that have served him well in his chosen profession of organized crime. But today, a dark cloud hangs over him. His father, the legendary Mafia boss, Don Cesario Corleone, has been released from prison after serving a 5-year sentence for tax evasion. And Vito is determined to make this homecoming a memorable one. As the elder Corleone approaches, Vito motions for his men to fan out, forming a protective circle around his father. The air is thick with tension as they navigate the crowds, wary of potential threats. But it's not just the dangerous world of organized crime that Vito has to worry about. His own brother Santino, known as Sonny for short, is furious about the special treatment their father has received, a sentiment shared by many of their fellow Italian Americans, who see the Don as a traitor for cooperating with the authorities. As the family gathers at their home, Vito knows that he must walk a fine line to keep the peace. He respects his father's wisdom and influence, but he also understands the volatile nature of the situation. In a tense family meeting, Vito tries to convince his hot-headed brother to let bygones be bygones. But Sonny is having none of it. When Vito mentions that their father will be taking a long vacation to Italy, Sonny explodes in anger, accusing their father of abandoning them. When he could have used his power to protect his own flesh and blood, the simmering resentment between the brothers threatens to boil over, setting the stage for a violent showdown. Meanwhile, Connie, Vito's sister, yearns for a life beyond the shadows of her father's criminal empire. She dreams of marrying the love of her life, but her suitor's working-class roots make him an unsuitable match in her family's eyes. With her father's return, Connie hopes for a fresh start and the chance to pursue her own happiness. But the past has a way of repeating itself, and her father's presence stirs up old wounds and rivalries that could shatter her dreams. As the Corleone family navigates the treacherous waters of organized crime, Vito finds himself torn between his loyalty to his father and his desire to forge his own path. With Sonny's resentment growing and Connie's future hanging in the balance, Vito must make a fateful decision that will determine the fate of his family and his soul. Now let's get back to the story. Don Corleone is greeted with open arms by his loyal wife Carmela and his 3 children, Vito, Sonny, and Connie. The family embraces their patriarch, overjoyed to have him back in their lives after his lengthy absence. However, a sense of foreboding lingers as Vito steps out onto the balcony to take in the cityscape. He contemplates the challenges that lie ahead and the heavy responsibility of upholding their family's legacy. Vito reflects on his father's return and its potential consequences for their way of life. A shadow falls over him, and Vito turns to find his older brother, Sonny, standing behind him. There's an undeniable resemblance between them, but their personalities are as different as night and day. Vito, the epitome of controlled charm and calculated moves, while Sonny is a hothead, quick to anger and action, a trait that often lands him in trouble. Their contrasting natures have always caused friction between them, and Vito senses that their father's return has only exacerbated their differences. Sonny accuses their father of abandoning them, revealing the deep resentment he's harbored during the Don's incarceration. The weight of his brother's words hits Vito hard. He understands Sonny's anger, but he also knows that their father's actions were necessary to protect the family's interests. Vito attempts to mediate between his brother and father, urging them to reconcile and move forward together. But Sonny's animosity runs deep, and the years of betrayal and abandonment have left an indelible mark on him. As the conversation intensifies, Vito sees the danger of their father's return, not just for their family but for the entire Italian-American community. Vito shares these concerns with his younger sister, Connie. They discuss the impact their father's presence will have on their lives and the potential consequences for their community. Connie, however, remains hopeful that their father's return will bring positive change. She sees him as a symbol of strength and resilience, and she believes he can protect them from the dangers that lurk in their neighborhood. But Vito knows better than to be naive. He's seen firsthand the brutality of their father's enemies and the lengths they go to protect their own interests. As Vito grapples with his conflicting emotions, his father, Don Corleone, takes matters into his own hands. Sensing the turmoil within his family, the Don calls for a family meeting. He wants to address the issues head-on and set things right before it's too late. During the meeting, Don Corleone confronts Sonny about his behavior, reminding him of his responsibilities as the eldest son. He emphasizes the importance of unity and respect within the family, and warns Sonny that his actions could have dire consequences. Sonny, however, stands his ground, refusing to back down in the face of his father's authority. He accuses the Don of abandoning them, and refuses to forgive him for his past mistakes. As tensions rise, Vito steps in to try to calm the situation. He reminds everyone of their father's legendary status and the respect he commands from their enemies and allies alike. Vito argues that their father's return is a blessing, not a curse, and that they should embrace his guidance and support. Connie, too, pleads with her brother to reconsider his stance, pointing out that their father's experience and wisdom are invaluable to their family's well-being. Despite their pleas, Sonny remains defiant, unwilling to forgive his father or accept his authority. This division within the family only serves to strengthen Vito's resolve to protect his father and keep the peace. He knows that Sonny's anger could lead him down a dangerous path, and he's determined to prevent that from happening. As the family meeting draws to a close, Don Corleone makes a fateful announcement. He reveals his plans to take a long vacation to Italy, leaving the day-to-day operations of the family business in Vito's capable hands. Vito is honored by his father's trust in him, but he also understands the burden that comes with it. He knows that he'll need to step up and lead the family in his father's absence. He'll have to do it without the full support of his brother. With his father's announcement, Vito finds himself at a crossroads. He must now prove himself worthy of his father's trust and ensure the family's continued success in the face of adversity. As Vito prepares to take on a bigger role in the family business, he faces opposition from an unlikely source, his own sister, Connie. She reveals that she's engaged to be married, but her chosen suitor is not of Italian descent. This revelation shocks her father, who had always expected his children to marry within their cultural group. The clash between tradition and modernity deepens the rift between Connie and her father, mirroring the broader tensions within the Italian-American community. Connie argues that her happiness should be a priority, but her father sees her fiancé as a threat to their family's heritage and power. This conflict highlights the complexities of identity and the challenges of balancing tradition with individual desires, especially in a time of rapid social change. As Vito navigates the intricate world of organized crime, he finds himself torn between his ambitions and his conscience. On one hand, he wants to uphold his family's legacy and protect his loved ones from harm. On the other hand, he grapples with the moral implications of his actions and the consequences they have on innocent lives. This internal conflict adds a layer of complexity to Vito's character, making him more relatable and human. In a pivotal moment, Vito is forced to make a decision that will have far-reaching consequences for his family and his soul. The choices he makes will shape his destiny and determine the legacy he leaves behind. Will he embrace the darkness that comes with his family's criminal empire, or will he try to forge a different path for himself? Only time will tell. And there you have it, the epic tale of the Corleone family and their struggle to maintain their power and protect their own. Do not forget to show your support if you want to see more stories like this come to life. Thanks for watching.